Alright, adventure buddies. Can't notice. It's windy. Well, it's not windy, it's gusty. And gusty sucks. I can't paramotor, I can't fly. I've long wanted something to do when it's too windy to fly. So I came up with this idea. I got this wonderful kayak. You guys have seen the kayak before. And it's got these pockets in the front. These little dinglies right here. And I was just like, that's just too convenient for something. What's going on there?
She said I'm rusty. I feel the same. She said I'll hold out to win the game. No matter how hard.
So, I got this old Viking friend, and we've been talking back and forth, and he kind of drew me some doodles. And at first, the doodles looked like just doodles, like I couldn't make any sense of them. And then I started thinking, and started YouTubing and reading and learning, and so I realized those doodles made sense. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to build a gaff. Hold on, let me. I'm all screwed up with my camera here. Hey, it's the Nicky Noodles. What are you doing, puppy dogs, huh? Oh, you're not old dogging it today, huh? Yes, you are. You're good girls. So yeah, we're trying to build what's called a gaff rig sailor, because a gaff rig sailor gives you more sail space and it gives you room to clear my head, because I don't got much room here to clear, up over my head and still get sail, because I can't really run a keel, because if I cut the keel down in the bottom of my boat and I'm going to flip over. So we're going to try to build and do and see what happens. So Bo gave me the idea, since I got these channels, we're going to strap this down. We're just going to put a ratchet strap under the hole. Yeah, it's going to be draggy. I'm trying not to. I'm going to have to do something, I think, to put a rudder on this, like permanently attach a rudder. But that doesn't really bug me too much right now, because a rudder could be handy for many reasons. So I'm going to actually try to do that, like, very clean and very nice. And this is just kind of more proof of concept, see if I like it. So what we're going to do here is we'll ratchet strap this down to give me a nice stability thing. I could add a lee keel. And I want to try to figure out a good way to move the lee keel from one side to the other. Try to make that work. But and then I'm going to drill. I have this piece of PVC over here. What we're going to do is drill down a vertical hole for the mast and a horizontal hole, and then ratchet strap all that down, and then that way I don't have to modify the hull in the least amount of stuff to do. Right now I'm going to leave this horizontal stayer thing out full length. I'm going to remove this right now, and then I'll probably just put a hole through here, finish it nice, and the same on the other side. So then that way I could run stays up to my mast. And the cool thing is because they're just slightly rearward, that'll help act as a backstay, because I'm not going to have room to get a backstay in with my gaffer style sail, because the sail's going to, it's kind of crazy the way this works. And put a picture in here for you. But it's going to come up from my mast across the top, up to the peak, and then it'll come back down on the this is, I should pop quiz, I should know this, left side, and then down to the crew, which is kind of the part like that goes to the back of the boom, and then because then the boom we're trying to keep high, clear my head, and then I'll go forward to the mast. So yeah, I'm gonna get to working and drilling and see what we can't get going here, to try to secure all this, and yeah, because I think it'd be pretty killer to have something on days like this that I could go down to the beach and throw it in the water and sail up and down. And, you could hang we did kids on skateboards, an old tent rain fly. You cut it into bits and parts, because you can't use the whole bit. So normally you get at least enough for two out of it. You cut it into parts, hook the bottom parts of your skateboard, and then the top parts on your hand. And you can go downwind, and you can kind of lean a little bit. You go sideways to the wind, but you can go upwind. The goal of this rig is if I could go upwind, like actually sail into the wind and sail the triangle, as they call it, both sides of tacking and going downwind. If I could sail that, I'd be pretty stoked. So anyways, let's get to building. Build here. I got the holes drilled in this PVC. This supports my mast down inside of there. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a hose clamp to keep the mast from pushing down, and then because of all the tension of the rigging of the stays off, I think that's what these are called, stays off to the side, the main bow stay, and then these little this would be the port stay and the starboard stay goes off. I have a ratchet strap. It goes under the hole here, and it'll be some drag, but and I don't know, it'll be kind of at a hydrofoily profile, but then that way I could ratchet that down. Got this eye bolt in through here, and these are just going to be adjusted by a kind of just a trucker knot here off the top and then tied off. It'll be a finished knot once I get it going, but I can leave it adjustable now. My hardware here, this is to, that's the halyard. It's the lifting system. This will go up, and it won't go back. It'll just go to the top, the peak of my sail, and it'll end up somewhere about here. But that'll be my this is just to hold my gaff stick up, just to kind of lay everything up and hold it in place. And same thing, that rear line that here won't be there when I'm done. That's just to hold my boom up in place, because I needed to kind of check my angle of the dangle, and it's just to the point where I could duck under it. So I'm going to have to watch it, especially when I'm tracking downwind. When you're going downwind, especially if you're running like a dead downwind, that sail could swap on you, and you could do funny things. So you kind of actually want to tack off to one side or the other when you're doing it downwind, so that way the sail doesn't come get you. But when you're changing from one side to the other or tacking into the wind and changing, I got to build a duck under the boom. So that's why we got the boom here. So I'm kind of laying that out, and I got this same thing at this line. It's just a dummy line for now. And then this line comes down because it's got leverage on it and stuff. I'm going to try to get away with these things. And you guys know how much I love these little quick pulley tight toe tie down strap things. They're super cheap. If I had more of these, I'd probably actually use these throughout. I do like how, like with this one, I have to push on it to release my finger, to release the tension on. But with this one, for my mainsail, I could actually kind of have this back by me, and I guess just being new to sailing, I could use this as a panicky. You're supposed to turn into the wind, but if I want to reef the whole thing, I could just pull on this, and that would actually reef my sail. It would allow it to drop. This is part of the front of the hold the boom down system. Tension about like that. And then, so I got to get started on the sail, and it'll affix up here across the mast all the way to the top. This mast halyard line will go to the top of the peak of the mast, and then this will stuff out into a pocket that I'm going to try to create on the corner of the mast. And got this pole here. And I know a lot of you are probably asking, wondering what's up with turnaround. Why I have this style of mast with this pole off the side. And the reason is when you have such a small sailing craft like what I got, you don't have, like, if you put an imaginary line here to, like, the peak of the mast, so you get back far enough from here to here, if you only have, like, this much sail, like from here down, just this little triangle, well, if you could tell, you gain all of this. So it's like, you know, another 30-40% extra sail area, at least off of my rudimentary judgment, you gain this whole top triangle versus just having this lower triangle sail. And the cool thing about that is because I don't have a keel, I don't have a bunch of ballast down low, it gives me a bunch of sail surface without having a super tall mast. And the taller the mast is, the more leverage it puts on the boat, and more it's going to want to heel over, lean to the side, and because it's put more leverage up top. So by moving that down, I could still get a relatively decent sized sail, but have the lifting moment, the point that's pushing over on it is going to have less leverage on the boat because it's lower. But isn't this kind of cool? Like, I got like 3-4 hours in this last night just screwing around, physically doing it. It took me a lot longer to get the ideas in my head of what I needed to accomplish or what was going on, that sort of thing. And then I just kind of got to it. So I'm excited. I think we should be able to get fairly far along today, barring accidents and incidents, to at least get our sail together and rigged up. And I'm not quite sure on any of this. This is a telescopic tent pole, people. Like, it's just got, you know, the little springy thing in here. And this. Yeah, so it's not super heavy duty or strong. It's just kind of held together very lightly. I don't know. Definitely I could push on it, move it around all by just pushing all the way up here. So I think it's strong enough. And kind of the thing about all this is I want to learn. I want to, if I overbuild everything, you know, it's big, heavy wall, whatever, I don't know what I'm going to, where all the loads are, what's up. And it's a kayak, and I'm going to be cruising along the shores and that sort of thing, and I just kind of want to figure out what it takes to sail, learn it all, have a very low investment cost, not do any damage to transport this thing. I should be able to, minus pulling the rudder off, bungees or whatever, I should just be able to, because my sail's going to hold here, this should just come loose here, that'll drop free. I'm going to glue those nuts in place, boom up, sail up, should all be able to fold to my mast. Fold everything up onto my mast, obviously lower it down. The mast is the same length as the hull, so I could lay it right on top of the hull, so anywhere I could transport the kayak, anywhere I could haul it, I could take the mast. If I had to, the mast, I could take the screw out and collapse it further, but I don't think I'll need to. Untie this front, the bow stay, the forestay, and I should be able to leave all this stuff intact because of the way this is built here. And then just pull my ratchet strap loose and the whole thing, and it just pins right on this conveniently located hole. The mast does down in the hole. Right down in, it's got these nice little cutouts here and even in the back here. And it really lends this thing to an outrigger. So if I like it, for more stability, heck, we might turn this thing into an outrigger. I don't know. But for right now, this is what we're going to run with. And, yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So let's get to it. Let's get some sail building. All right. Look at that. We have sailage. It's pretty cool. Check it out. This will show you guys what I mean by that gaff boom doubling your put that all the way out there. doubling their sail size, because look how much smaller that is without the gaff. Like, the given mast and boom that I have, that's not a whole lot. But if I haul the gaff, and those things are just so cool. Look at that. That's a, you know, a lot. That's that whole bit of the sail. Just bow. Yeah. All right, y'all, here we are. Lovely Lake Havasu. Watch that. Bring you guys along here. See if we can't figure out what this whole floating sailing thing's about, huh? Got our mooring line loose here. Got it stowed away in our hangar, out of the way. Our other camera rolling so you guys have lots of views. Rudder down in a happy go position. The wind's already got my boat because I'm holding it from the stern. Laid our main sheet out. Get on the windward side. See what we can't make happen. Haha, look, we're actually going away from the shore. Bye bye, shore. I want to let this now reach up, tighten my. Get my sheet nice and tight here. I tightened up the gaff pole here, which lines up here. And I'm tightening up this downhaul here. We're actually sailing out into the wind at a pretty decent clip. A couple of boats coming. Keep the rudder over. So there's our reference, and that's about 90 to the wind. What I'm going to try to do is actually tack into the wind. Now we're losing a little speed. Tack into the wind and try to stay upwind of our mark, at least for now. Alright, sports fans, that was today's plan. Drive on out of here. Sailing machine. Head home, get some grub. Yeah. Thanks again for tuning along for the maiden voyage of the little dinghy or quarantine cruiser or whatever we're going to call it. Do me a favor, go down there, like, comment, I don't know, say what you want to say what's up, ask any questions, I don't care. Big favor, subscribe. Subscribe would be awesome. I'm looking at getting a bigger boat, like a legitimate sailing boat. If you want to pitch in on it, Adventure Brad down on Patreon, that'd be even better. So yeah, you guys have a good one now.
Army, the seas are getting rough.